Believe that we're pulling this off.
Yeah, I can't believe you watched it.
I mean, that movie is like so fucking weird in Chinese. And I don't even mean that like it's I can't like I don't even know. Like there's like a lot of like symbolism and shit like that. Like there's scenes where there's like implied rape and it's not real like there's not like a rape scene, but like my Chinese teacher explained it to me like, yeah, it's ambiguous because she's supposed to want it, and I was like, whoa. And I'm like, this movie's fucking crazy, and it's like the embodiment of like 1980s Chinese cinema, and then after this came the 90s, and that's when it kicked ass, and that's when everyone likes like Bruce Lee and shit, like Jackie Chan.
Bruce
Uh,
Lee was well before the 90s though.
No, but like all that stuff, like it really started. Like Jackie's Chan started taking off. Bruce Lee did all of his work before the '90s, but like you saw the Wu-Tang Clan rapping about like Chinese art house ass movies that like I don't know. There was like this whole thing in the '90s that people like love Chinese culture. That's why like there's so many '90s movies that are like, oh, Trouble in Little Koreatown or Chinatown or something like that, and like the Three Ninjas. It was something about the '90s. I don't know. This is all just shit I read out of a textbook from class.
Sure, sure, sure.
No, yeah, and so I don't know. Like I don't know.
I'll take your word for it.
You shouldn't, but because I was just not paying attention, I was just like, what the fuck are these movies, man?
Yeah.
I mean, it's fucking, but it's more impressive that he watched it.
Yeah, I really can't wait to hear what he has to say. We really have to let him talk about it and then like first off just get his thoughts just like on without leading him in any direction and then like just basically say things that may or may not be from either movie, and then
Yeah, yeah,
start
yeah.
like, more and more so diverting into our own movie.
No, no, 100%, and that's what I got to sync with Jacob on because if Jacob like, so both of these movies, weirdly enough, like take place in relatively the same time periods and relatively the same place.
Like in Manchuria.
Like in Manchuria. So Manchuria is like this fucking weird piece of land that's like above China, and that's technically like where the Sino-Chinese War was really popular, which is the Japanese-Chinese War, which is when the movie that Dylan watched ends, and that's where our movie watch begins.
Okay.
So you can drop little bits about like the Japanese,
Mm-hmm.
like that scene with the Japanese was crazy or something like that, or funny, and just weird things like that. But I don't want to give a whole summary of what happened, but I'm gonna give you guys a brief rundown of
Definitely, definitely.
this other Red Sorghum movie because it's so to make this work. It's exactly like you said. We gotta like string this along. We can't just be like, "Got you, fucker." That movie was weird.
Yo, all right.
Okay. So everything's recording, Jacob, and
Okay.
basically, I'm gonna give you the Wikipedia thing of the Red Sorghum.
Okay.
So it takes place in this like really just like a small rural province, and the
Okay.
opening scene is about this girl that's just getting taken away in like a wedding procession
Uh-huh.
to this old man who's like disgusting and they say he has the like I can't leprosy or whatever,
Uh-huh.
Okay.
and so it's this dime girl being carted in like one of those long ass uh I forget what they're called, the
She's like a
litters.
queen,
Like
right?
she's like a litter. Yeah, exactly. So like there's all these
Okay.
like shirtless Chinese dudes wearing underwear like carrying this girl and singing and taking her to the distillery. She gets to the like on the way to the distillery, they get raided by bandits. One of the guards chases off the head bandit,
Uh-huh.
but then the head bandit comes back that night and steals the girl and takes her into the sorghum fields, which is like It's almost like
Okay,
bleach.
okay, we got to be quick here. What are we gonna do here,
No,
John?
no, 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 no. It's fine. There's not much else that happens in this. This is one of the most important things you need to know, though. It's like
Okay,
so he doesn't. It looks like he rapes her, but he doesn't rape her.
okay,
And then she falls in love with the guard who saved her. Yada yada yada. He's a drunken idiot. Um, but at the end of the day, he hears that she got raped, and so he like chases after the bandit guy, and the bandit guy's like, "Nah, I wouldn't even sleep with her because of the
yeah,
whatever." Yo, dude.
yeah,
Well,
Yep. Yo, Dylan. So let's get this thing on the roll. Are
yeah.
you at
Get the
your
intro
computer?
rolling. Yep.
All right, dog.
Hang on. Can I take a leak? Oh
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. No. Take a leak. Take a leak. Take a leak. Go.
Welcome to the Fly You Fools podcast, the podcast that talks a little about J.R.R. Tolkien and his work and a lot about everything else. Enjoy this time with your fellow fools, Tibbs K, Jacob and Cooper. Thank you for listening.
Okay, Dylan, did you take a leak? All right, perfect, Jacob. So basically, it ends with the Japanese invading, and the Japanese kill that girl, and basically, it ends when the Good, the Bad, the Weird starts. So like the Japanese have moved into like that Manchuria area.
Okay.
But
All right.
yeah, and also something to remember is that the wine gets better. They make wine at this distillery, and it gets better after the main character pees in it. But from that
Okay.
on, the plan is I'll lead the discussion and get his thoughts. You guys just
Okay.
chime in with things about the Japanese and like
right.
rural China, and then maybe like one offhand thing. Like I like the guns, like something
Yeah.
weird like that.
Okay.
And we'll just take it from there because I know enough about the main film to kind of jive with him and see what's up. But
Yeah.
I mean, and then we got to talk about that other movie because that movie was fantastic in my opinion. I love that movie.
Yeah.
it
That was good.
Yeah,
It was entertaining for sure.
Yeah.
He says done.
Yeah.
I just got that.
Yeah. He texted us before.
So Dylan, you back?
Let's just jump right into it.
Yeah. So tell me what you guys think. I mean, this was an odd one. This was out there.
You know, John, this movie, I thought it was a little slow, a little weird, but I kind of knew that going into it. But I gotta say, probably one of my favorite movies we've watched so far. I really, really liked the cinematography in general, and I just thought that the story was genius.
Hang
Dylan?
on.
Oh.
So I've been hustling
Okay.
today. So I may have missed the finer things in the movie.
That's fine.
Like I was just confused about something.
All right. Well, what part
But I think we
all the way? What
should just get into it and
Yeah.
we'll address it as we go.
Yeah. So, what part did you watch up to, Dylan?
I finished it, but I watched the back half on like ×2 speed.
Oh,
Did
really?
you see the train scene?
What happened?
The
Missed
scene
the
with
train scene?
towards the end.
With the army?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I saw it all the way to the end, no doubt.
So you saw the knife guy, right? And the guy that was like fucking
oh,
running
yeah,
around with
yeah.
the knives.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. That was pretty messed up, but I thought it was kind of funny at the end of the day.
Yeah, I just thought it was cool how like
I thought it was shot really well, those scenes.
No, I could definitely tell they were going for some like a lot of the story told through like the camera and shit.
Who's your favorite character, Cooper?
I would say that the one guy with the hair that
Yeah,
was a little
yeah.
wacky, you know?
Well,
yeah,
it's-
kind of like the goth sort of like
Mhm.
sort of like covering one eye sort of hairstyle, like the evil kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean the
The
thing
bad
is,
boy.
I think the reason I liked him too was because he stood out amongst the bald distillery workers. Because I gotta say, it felt a little hard to tell who was who at what point in time, and maybe it's just because of the subtitles and I don't know the names that well. But there was like Lure and Chi Luke and Huang and stuff like that. And so
Yeah.
that for me watching through was, I don't know about you guys, if that was hard or how
Yeah,
much
I just
you
kind of went by
understood.
their. I kind of just went by their hairstyles in the general. I'm pretty sure one of the actors. Have you guys seen Snowpiercer?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
that one of the actors was that dude from Snowpiercer.
Chris
You
Evans.
know, the Asian.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris Evans. I'm pretty sure one of the guys was the was the Asian dad in Snowpiercer, and then also you guys know the guy in I think his name's like Grant something. He's in The Walking Dead. I'm pretty sure that guy was in it too.
Do you mean Grant Imahara, the Mythbuster?
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
the
I'm pretty sure that guy was
Mythbuster.
in it
The
too.
Mythbuster.
Didn't he
I don't think I
die?
saw Grant
Hey,
Imahara.
I think that's that's really racist.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was in this.
B,
No
didn't he
way.
die?
No, I mean the guy in Breaking Bad, not that guy. His name is Grant in the Breaking, or not in Breaking Bad, in The Walking Dead.
in like
You know what I'm talking
Lost.
about?
In like
No,
yeah,
in-
yeah,
no,
yeah,
in
yeah,
The Walking
yeah,
Dead.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah,
in
yeah.
The Walking Dead, his name is
His name is
freaking
Grant.
no, it's not Grant. He's the Asian guy that always avoids death and then eventually he does die.
Yeah,
Gosh, what is his name? It's
he was in
killing
this movie
me now.
too.
Dude, I don't think so, man.
I don't.
John,
think
when was
so.
this movie? When was this movie? When did it come out?
Glenn.
Yeah, like 19.
yeah,
no. Glenn
Yeah,
was like
Glenn.
3 years old.
Yeah. It wouldn't work out.
Glenn's like our age, dude.
It looked a
Listen
lot like Glenn.
Okay,
No,
this
I'm
is
just
just,
saying.
Yeah, well, Jacob.
either way though.
Yes, it did.
I would want to sit down and I would want to get drunk with the main character. He seems like a great time to get drunk with.
Yeah, just a general all-around goofball, you know.
Yeah, that you
I kind
can
of like how those three characters, like the way they spin off each other and like how they sort of play into each other's little like tropes, you know.
Right,
No,
they're all
100%.
spoiled for each other.
Yeah.
Dylan, who was your favorite character?
I think I liked the guy that couldn't skin the dude and was shot.
Oh yeah. No,
Thought
I mean
he
because that was a heavy scene. You got to give that guy credit.
Yeah,
After the
I'm
knife thing.
not gonna lie. I read over in like the summer this Japanese book that went way into like the Sino-Chinese War in Mongolia.
Dude, it was a rough
Basically-
in like Manchuria.
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean,
like there was like a random side tangent that was basically a story within the story because it was a weird ass book that was like half the book long about that. And in it there was a very similar skinning scenario.
Dude, no, they
Like it was
skinned people
almost the
alive.
same scene. Like it was really on like really similar.
It wasn't plagiarism, right?
I don't know. Like it could have been. Like I was like, well, but I mean it was different enough, but it was definitely like a theme. Like
No, knives were a theme for sure.
but it was
Knives
like
all
no, it was like
around.
a skinning as like a weird
Mm.
mind game.
Remember when that part when the knife wasn't sharp enough?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like cutting off his finger,
Mm.
Yeah, that was.
and he
rough
has to get a
scene,
sharper
man.
knife. Yeah.
Mm.
That was. Rough.
I mean, I probably wouldn't use a sharp knife to cut off a finger. You know, I would probably get like a serrated blade. You know.
Oh no, dude! You got to get like a butcher.
no,
knife
yeah,
and
I
just
think like a
do it.
cleaver, because I've always heard that fingers are like, so
I've heard
easy.
like carrots.
Like
yeah,
carrots.
that's what I heard. They were carrots. Well, I mean, that's probably the myth, right? Is that all of us heard this from each other at some point in like 6th grade?
Yeah, it seems like bone is not
not
as
a
easy to
carrot.
bite through as a carrot.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I maintain that logic, and I will fight anyone that tells me otherwise,
Agreed.
Yeah.
especially a medical professional.
Mhm.
Man, now I'm thinking about MythBusters a lot, man. And all
That's
this
a great
bone breaking
show.
and
Yeah,
talking.
that guy died though, right?
No,
Grant?
He did
yeah,
die. That
super
is
sad.
sad.
Here's what the ending hit me weird.
Of
Because-
Mythbusters.
No, of this movie that I just watched
Yeah,
because they were pouring all this wine over and over again. I was expecting some like bloodbath, right? Which there kind of was, but it's just like they all just threw the wine and then it just exploded and everyone died and it ended. It's kind of
so
weird.
so it's like the wine is supposed to be close to something like sake, so like more like liquor than wine, and that's just something we're gonna lose in translation, just because like we don't like in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
yeah,
no, I can
but
see it though.
but yeah,
They
man,
laid it on fire at one point.
the weird thing about all this movie is that at the end of the day, the Japanese are the bad guys, and they really kind of win. Like, none of the good people really succeed. I mean, at the end, I think pretty much everyone's dead, right? Yeah,
It's just the kid and the dad, the granddad.
but yeah, and so it's like, if it really speaks to how big of a d bag.
I gotta rewatch this because I feel like there's some weird layer. Because if they were the only two survivors, and like at so many points in the movie, the narrator was like, "It is said in my village." That
Well,
basically means it can only be from those two, the stories.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I never thought about an unreliable narrator angle.
Yeah, yeah, that's true, but just a thought.
No, it's a good one.
If they're the only two survivors, like, and everything's a lore in their village.
Apparently, they had to do a more upbeat ending for Western audiences. Cooper and Jacob, I don't know if you guys heard this when researching your movie choice for the week, that there's alternate endings. Sorry, I'm scratching myself. But yeah, no. In the Western audiences, I guess they were too damp on it, and they were like, "This is depressing as shit." So they came up with some sort of happier ending. I can't find it. I've never seen it because I watched the OG shit. You know me.
Mm-hmm. So, do we consider this a happy ending?
I was pretty happy about it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
You know,
I like
because
the
it-
ending.
A little
Everyone
ambiguous.
died, and then it was like a blood eclipse, and then
I mean, I'm kind of into that.
happy to
sort of
you
thing,
guys?
so.
Well, the main character lives, and the kid lives.
Right. The kid
Yeah.
lives.
Yeah. And I mean, I thought it was good. Thought it was just good ending all around.
Yeah.
And how about, so what was the deal? They were all after the same thing, and essentially it turned out to be nothing though, right?
Yeah. It was like
Yeah.
there wasn't actually. They never really got what they were seeking.
Well, you assume it's oil or land or power. I mean, it just comes with that. Not I don't know, because it's something that Japanese just people are. There's one theme, and that's Japanese people really hate the people that they're living around.
Right. I was gonna say, like, it makes sense that it's oil because then the Japanese would be interested in that, for their this is right on the brink of World
100%.
War II. So the Japanese are trying to get as much, oil as possible to power their battleships.
Yeah, because they're not getting any of that sweet Texas crude.
I like the mix between, like, you have like sort of these guys on their horses, like using swords and hammers and stuff, almost like the Mongol type characters.
Yeah.
And then there are also the people like with the motorcycles and the guns. And that's just really, sort of a cool dynamic. It's almost like
Well, the action's really well done.
turn of
in
the
general.
century. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, definitely one of like
Brutal.
Yeah, I mean it's easy to see how the '90s had that Chinese film resurgence, which came out shortly after this, of like that up close and personal action. I mean, the guy, that guy getting cut up is gotta mean. Honestly, I don't know if it's supposed to be funny or if it's supposed to be sad, but I giggle every single. I howl with laughter.
Why?
It's just something about it is so funny to me, and I had this problem with the movie Ninja Assassin as well, where like there's supposed to be like really graphic violence, and then I just watch it and I'm like, this is pretty funny. Like the closest thing that comes to like good action is like actually like slapstick comedy in a weird way of like breaking like a hammer on someone's head, like cut like itchy and scratchy shit,
Yeah,
So-
or like chopping off somebody's finger.
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
Are we clear at the end? Did that explosion kill the main character? Because it seems like he kind of got away.
I like.
Remember?
No, I
Yeah,
think he lived. I think the granddad lived.
Oh, okay.
Granddad.
That's who that guy was. The narrator was like the granddad to the narrator, right? Am
Oh, I
following that
thought.
right?
yeah.
Oh,
There's
I
like
thought
a
he-
weird third party story thing going.
That's how I'm like at least anchoring that.
Mhm.
No, again, it's definitely a movie you want to rewatch. That's got.
I gotta
layers to
rewatch it because I was Russian.
I mean, I enjoyed the shootouts a lot, especially in the market.
That was great.
Yeah, there was some wild shit
It was,
there.
it's a long scene too.
And I liked it when he put on like the scuba diving helmet
Yeah.
and he's like getting, like shooting the helmet.
No. The scene where they zigzag through the market is so. When he's
Yeah.
like, I'm just gonna go.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, again, I just die. I actually think this is so funny. Like, I
Yeah,
love,
it's that kind of like stupid
Yeah.
comedy.
No, that
Yeah.
you just kind of gotta love it.
It
Have you
was
guys seen? Have you guys seen the one it's based off of though? The American movie
Yeah,
it's based off of.
the Clint Eastwood one.
Yeah.
Hot take, like this one more. I know subtitles and all that, and it's a little bit harder to understand, but I just think this is such a good ride.
Yeah. I think this one's probably a little better, honestly.
The other one's not bad. It's just like those those long westerns, like those old long, like, hey, this is 3 hours of western, and like 15 minutes of it is John Wayne walking his horse. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, wasn't it cool how the goofy guy turned out to be the finger chopper the whole time?
Yeah.
dude,
yeah.
No,
That
I mean,
was-
again, I think great twists. I really enjoy. I mean, the one guy figuring out that he was like left for dead or whatever, and before he gets cut up, like his face is just it kills me every single time. Dylan, what was your
Yeah.
favorite action piece?
I liked when the guy like ripped up all the corn right before he banged the lady. That had to
Oh.
go
Oh,
in
corn.
at the very beginning when he was like, like
Oh yeah, he's kind of husking it.
making a mat.
Yeah, that's the sour gum, and it does make you want to try that sour gum wine, huh?
I was thirsting for that the entire time.
Oh yeah.
So if you had to make wine better by pissing in it, whose piss do you think would make the wine taste the best?
Oh, my pee is.
I mean, I
definitely the
thought
most
they were
flavorful.
headed in the right direction with it being a young boy. But
Oh man.
I don't think I would want. Honestly, Cooper's is probably the best. Cooper eats the cleanest.
No, Cooper's
Yeah.
is just adding water. You want something you know what I mean? Like you want it to be a new ingredient. If you're adding
you?
piss, it's got to be like
It's got to be spicy.
fermented. Like
I don't know about that. Fermented urine.
Yeah.
I feel like John's would really fucking.
Mine would
I
give
don't
you
know.
give you
Dude,
some
yours
bite.
would be like rancid or
Yeah, I'd
something.
be like
Green. Come on, that Mountain Dew you drink, bro.
Yeah.
On those Cheetos.
Dude, turns out if you just drink a bunch of Code Red, it just turns your pee black and not even red, which is a bummer.
That is
Oh.
kind of
damn shame.
Yeah, right. So Dylan, out of all the movies we watched so far, what would you rank this on? What score? would
Well,
you give it?
with you guys, I've only watched Ink, and that might be it.
Mad Max.
No,
Joker.
I watched
Joker.
Joker.
Yeah. So out of all these, where would you put it?
I'd rank it from in my order of least preferred to more preferred.
Mm-hmm.
I'd put it this movie. I don't know. Maybe I'd do
You're gonna say it's better than
Joker,
Ink?
this movie, Ink.
So
you
Ink is your
no,
least favorite?
Ink
No,
is
no,
your
no, no,
most
no, no,
favorite?
that's my favorite
Oh, okay.
out of the three.
I understand that. Would you?
You'd say this movie was better than Joker. You'd say.
I don't know. I just think it's about they were both kind of similar, like really
I mean, the
slow
action's
burn,
better in
like
this.
I don't know. That's a tough one.
Tough
I
call.
feel like I've definitely watched this one multiple times.
So,
Where the Joker, I don't think I'd get as much out of it.
so answer me this: if you had to pitch this movie to someone that hadn't seen this movie or was apprehensive about seeing this movie, would you? Like, would you be like, hey, because like it's different when it's like us and we all agreed to watch it and discuss it. Because then you can do like those more artsy fartsy movies, nothing like a stupid Korean Western or some shit like that, but like a real on the money movie. Um, would you encourage like a civilian per se to watch this?
Uh, yeah, I mean that just really comes down to the person, but I'd say so because there was a lot of good filmmaking going on. You know,
That's good to know. No. I mean, because
like
I felt a little silly recommending this one to the boys. Like it was a tough sell.
I think if I watched it again, I'd appreciate it a lot more because I'm like thinking back on all the little, like I feel like there's so much imagery with the wine, and
And
then
the
also
red.
yeah, and red, and like I'm thinking about it now, and like at the very beginning when he like claimed that chick, he like matted down the crop, and then when the army came, they like matted it down before that long ass scene.
Yup. No, I mean
Right.
It's
there's
like all these little things I bet like add up
Right, and
in a
it's like,
good way.
yeah, and it's like, where was the treasure map? Like he loses the treasure map, and then he gets it back.
Mhm.
Later on, it's like, when does that happen? Like, where
The-
exactly was the treasure map the whole time? You
the
know?
map
Right.
was hard to keep track of. I would want to go
Mhm.
back and watch it
Mhm.
again. Just
And,
to
and the
kind of
relationship between the three main like characters slash like the bounty hunter and
Right.
the fool and then the killer for hire. That was pretty interesting.
Yeah, like there was some more backstory there that you could get into.
Mhm.
Is there any fan fiction written on this, John?
no, and there's no sequel, which you would think it's like a big budget popular movie. Like I don't know. I looked up the director and now he's just doing a bunch of weird stuff in Korea. So
Didn't he also make the movie Parasite?
no, that was I got. Coincidentally, I got my Pacific Asian directors mixed up, and
Oh, I was gonna say, I
yeah,
thought you said he did.
nope. No. Because the guy that did
Yeah.
this other movie, Me
Coincidentally.
Earl and the Dying Girl,
Uh-huh.
he's the guy that did Parasite, and he did It.
Oh, okay. Hey, it's a good movie too. Have you guys seen that?
The new one or the old one?
I actually haven't seen the newest one, the original one. Wait, no, no, never mind. I'm thinking
Wait,
of thinking of the movie with the clown. That's it, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Did you guys see the new one?
I saw the first one of the new one.
The
but
first
I heard
one,
the
yeah.
second one wasn't that good.
Oh, I didn't see the second one. I saw the first one. The first one was good, dude.
No, yeah, first one was great.
The recently made one though, when we were like in college.
Yeah.
So like, doesn't the clown like hide in gutters and stuff?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of Dylan.
Oh yeah. You know me.
Well, good movie.
No, yeah. I mean, would you? I one. I mean,
I mean, I'll say I will watch it again.
yeah. I mean, because
You really should.
One of my favorite things is the that I love, and whenever I rewatch this movie, I recommend it each time. It's like the way the camera moves in and out of the train during that fight scene.
Right.
I like it. Like I know, I guess now it seems standard because of like Avengers and all that stuff doing crazy stuff, but it's just a good fun thing for me, and I just appreciate that work.
Yeah. It's kind of inspirational to you, huh, John, as a content creator.
Yeah, as a young creative, I
Yeah.
really gotta see what works.
Mm-hmm. So I'm a little confused about the beginning though. So where did the map originate?
I don't.
Like,
I mean,
who had it? Like, who
Yeah.
first had it? And then how again? I can't quite remember how the
Right,
main guy
yeah.
ended up with the map.
I'd like to think that I think that a Japanese guy had it to begin with, and that's why they were chasing the
Right.
main character the entire
Oh,
time.
right.
And that
But the main character robs it from the Japanese guy, sort of randomly.
but he like doesn't need he doesn't mean to. And so the
he
entire
doesn't
time
mean
he's
to, but he
like,
gets
Okay,
what's going
right,
on
because
here?
the goth emo guy
Mhm.
also like he was like real whiny. Like I don't know.
He was whiny.
He just reminded me of like a singer of like a shitty 2000s, like I don't know, like Jared Leto. I don't know. That's kind of what he's
like
played
a
off as.
brooding. I'm trying to think. There's like a bunch of anime characters that are basically
Like a
just
brooding
like him.
Fallout. Yeah. I
Yeah.
know what you mean. Yeah.
He was so like sensive too. Like his
Mhm.
feelings got
He's
hurt
like,
so
I'm
easily.
the best.
Yeah, he's like,
Bro,
shut up,
get
dude.
over your
Fuck you.
ego. Yeah. You're just a little bitch.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I would have fucked that guy up.
Mhm.
Yeah. No. I mean, all in all, pretty amazing, pretty outstanding.
Yeah,
I weirdly just have such a soft spot for this film. Yeah, I don't got much else to add. To be perfectly honest, this has been a short, sweet little bit.
Did you guys see? Oh, never mind. I guess we'll talk about it when we're done.
No. So there is something else I want to talk about real quick. I saw that thing at the NFL about that young boy wide receiver who had to throw for. I love that story. I don't know if you guys
What
have
happened?
heard about it or whatever. Cooper, I don't know if you know the details, but basically, from my understanding, is like everyone got COVID or on the Broncos. All the quarterbacks got COVID, and the NFL refused to delay the game. So they took like a third string wide receiver and made him starting quarterback. And
Yeah. So basically, one of the quarterbacks on the Broncos got infected with COVID, and all the other quarterbacks on the Broncos were in close contact with that quarterback, and so they were not allowed to play according to like the NFL's policy.
They lost all of their quarterbacks.
They lost all their quarterbacks. Yeah. Which the funny thing is, it's happened to other teams and they just delay the game. But when it happened to the Broncos, they were just like, no one really cares, so we're gonna make you play the game. They didn't have a QB. None of their QBs that could go, and they also couldn't sign someone or anything. And so they even tried to get a coach to play.
What?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
And what happened?
They didn't allow a coach to play, but they pulled up a practice squad wide receiver, and he played, and he was 1 for 9, 14 yards, and threw 2 interceptions because he's never played quarterback in his life.
What the fuck? That's so weird. Why wouldn't they just delay the game?
Because nobody cares about the Broncos, really.
Yeah, that's what everyone's really bitching about now. Apparently, is that like the Ravens got their game delayed, and then the Broncos. Basically the same exact thing happened, but they didn't get a delay.
Right, but the Ravens played today, and they still had like 18 players out. And apparently, it was just terrible.
I mean, the Steelers are just really good, so they lost. But
no, they're just not. The Steelers are just like, yes, they've beaten everybody that they've come up against, but like they're like a very bad 11-0 team. Don't get me wrong; they're still a great team.
Wow, really bad 11-0 team.
Yeah, I kind of
sounds like
to see the logic there.
sounds like somebody's a little bit upset that the Cowboys got beat by the Redskins.
Well,
19-40 or something.
That game wasn't 19-40. It was.
I think it was.
It was 16-41. But
okay.
the game was pretty close until like 5 minutes left, and then they just scored like 3 touchdowns at the end. That play calling, oh my gosh, the freaking the first 4th down that they went for, the 4th down and 1 where they threw it was so freaking stupid. And then
that was so. I remember seeing that. I was like, what the fuck?
Shitty play, yeah. And then
that was retarded.
Then the fake punt, dude, where it was 4th and 10, not like 4th and 2, but like 4th and 10. And it was like the worst looking fake punt I've ever seen in my life. It was so slow developing, and they just immediately sniffed it out. Like it was just like, what are you doing? Like, this is so bad. And also getting both of having literally their 2 starting O linemen left injured in the first drive really did not help.
No.
But yeah, Zeke sucks, dude.
Ezekiel
Zeke?
Elliott?
Yeah, dude, he's been horrible this year. Once he got paid, I mean, it just proves time and time and time and time and time again, you do not give running backs big contracts. You just can't. Once they're up with that rookie deal, because the rookie deal is much less, it's much less money. And so the debate always comes up for good running backs when they get to 4 to 5 years. Do you pay them this big multi-$100 million deal? Every single time, it never works out. And the Cowboys did it, and it's already not working out.
Why do you
'Cause-
think that is?
Well, running backs have a much shorter shelf life than any other
Right. They don't
position
really. Yeah. They kind
by
of
a wide
get
margin.
beat up pretty quick.
Right. And then B, like, they just don't play for the money anymore. Zeke got his 125 mil. He just doesn't have the edge anymore.
Yeah. He doesn't really care. He's not hungry.
Right. He's not hungry.
You might as well just sign a bunch of really good linemen and have an okay running back.
Right.
And
Which
just
is
give him
why
somebody to fucking block for him.
exactly. And so like you gotta really the sweet spot is by having your quarterbacks and running backs on their rookie deal. That's the sweet spot. That's when a lot of teams win the Super Bowl. You can look at a number of teams over the past like 10, 15 years. It's when their quarterback, who generally costs so much, is still on their rookie deal, is when the rest of the team is pretty good because they can pay the other guys.
Right.
I believe that.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what?
Makes sense.
One thing that I did think was interesting about this movie was that there were in all other like Asian movies that I watched, it's all about like knives, and it's weird for me to have this one
Right.
be about so much guns because there's a lot of gunfighting in this.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
you
Like
know-
a lot.
Yeah, and maybe that's like a Korean thing, or maybe that's like I don't know, but there's just so much shooting that it feels weird to watch that and then go to Old Boy when it's like a man with the hammer. But I don't know.
Yeah. Suddenly.
I mean, but I enjoyed the scenes. At least the shootouts were good. Is what I will say.
Yeah. Yeah. Always love a good shootout.
Right.
Do you not love good shootouts, Dylan?
No, I love good shootout.
Which one is your favorite shootout in this film?
The one where the wife got mowed down at the end.
Well, that is very convenient. Because this entire time we've been actually talking about the good, the bad, the weird.
What? Fuck! I knew it! Oh my god, the only thing that I really got thrown on was the fucking train movie. Or the train comment, because there was like a weird bridge that I was like, is that the fucking train that they're talking about? Like, oh my god, are you kidding? I watched Red Sorghum all the way through. Oh my god. Did you guys watch Red Sorghum? Have you ever
No.
seen?
No.
No.
What? It wasn't that bad, honestly. Like,
It actually sounds kind of good.
it was pretty crazy. What the fuck? Where did you hear about that movie?
I know. I have seen it, Dylan. That's why I was able to actually talk like half in.
Oh
Sour.
my god, what the fuck? I mean, I was like, there was definitely some shootouts, but like, it wasn't the premise. It was really more like somber and intense. Like,
Yeah, that's great.
holy fuck! I've seen the good, the bad, and the weird.
Oh, yeah? Oh, so you know what we're talking about.
I mean, yeah, but like, not when I wasn't thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, wow, that's funny as hell. But fuck. I was like rushing all day and then watched this movie and was like, oh my god, like my subtitles were glitching for my player for some reason. Like I had to get the file straightened out and like I was like, I gotta watch this on like ×3 speed, like on the end, like I'm not gonna make it, like fuck. And it was just so dense, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And then when you guys were talking about things, I was like, "I swear to God, like I picked up everything. Like, how did I miss so many details on?" Like, I
That's exactly what
was
we
like,
were
"God,
going for.
Oh my god.
well, I suggest you guys watch Red Sorghum. That shit was heavy as fuck. I felt like
Well,
I
that's
felt like I was in that. And here's the thing: is like it actually was like the cinematography was good. Like,
Yeah, it sounds like it's actually kind of a good movie.
no,
I
no.
mean, but it was also like foreign as fuck. like, I was like, I can't believe like they all watched this already. Like the way the kid was yelling, I was like, you got to have a different framework to like interpret the emotions of this movie. Like you can't really like I can't get that. Like, why is he yelling like that over and over again? Like,
Like framing it as a comedy too.
Yeah, and we were
oh my god, no! It definitely was not a comedy. I was like, and I don't remember a finger being cut off, but like I remember a very long, prolonged interrogation torture scene with skinning.
Oh my god. Whoo-wee.
That was
That's
perfect.
great. Yeah, Dylan,
that's
you
funny.
missed last week, and we're like, all right, we have to fuck with him somehow.
Yeah.
And we're like, let's just make him watch some obscure foreign film.
Yeah.
Red Sorghum. Dude, and here's the thing. I was on like a 3-hour flight within Vietnam once and watched a domestic film that is like it was like The Fisherman's Son or something.
Uh-huh.
And it really reminded me of that. So that's how I know that was just like a deep
Legit.
cut.
No, I
Yeah,
mean,
like real.
It all took place in like rural fields. Like
yeah.
could have been shot anywhere. Like
No, I mean like everything I said about Red Sorghum, like when I was selling it to you, is true. Like people do view this as like the turning point of modern Chinese cinema. They like it is like the reason that movie probably reminds you of it is probably because they seen this shit. Like this was a huge
Could have been.
propaganda movie.
that could have been that the author I read because he wrote that in like the late 80s or 90s, early 90s.
Yeah, man. I mean, there is a book that it's based off of.
It definitely was not the book I read, but
Dude, I was like cracking up, dude. Like early on, like
I was mainly
Whatever,
like,
Mike.
first of all, it really felt like you guys were quizzing me on this movie. And I was like, fuck, like, well, first of all, I feel bad because, like, I don't know what the hell they're talking about. Like, clearly, I didn't see it well. Like,
I was waiting for you to start calling us crazy. That's what
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right.
I was like,
knew
when is
that
it?
I watched it on times 3, so I was like, fuck, maybe I just really missed it.
Oh my god.
If I had, like, carefully watched it, which I wish I had, because it honestly didn't seem that bad. It was just, like, fucking
No.
tense and dry. Like,
Yeah, and exactly what you said. It's foreign as hell. Like there's scenes with like
It's
no
so
talking
foreign.
for like 5
Yeah.
minutes, 6
oh my
minutes.
god, and they're just like doing tasks in their little village. Like,
Yeah. Like at one point a guy like goes to sleep like in a barrel because he's so drunk and like tries to sleep with the princess but like can't. And like, oh man. I mean
Yeah.
it's up and down. And that's just oh man. I can't I love that.
and here's the thing: when you said the ending's the best part, the ending was whack. So
What happened at the end?
ended, my eyebrows were like raised. I was like, "What did I just watch?" Like, dude, it ended with like this whole movie is basically this like long drawn out drama between this woman goes to get married, forced arranged, and it's really terrible. And this guy that transfers her there, this felt like some weird affair. And then it all just gets crazy and the army's around. And they're waiting to ambush the army to like avenge someone. And then they get hungry. So the main love interest lady just fixes a big table of food and then comes out once it's ready. He's like, it's done. And then the army comes, like, blasts her with machine guns. And then they all run out and throw jugs of wine. And then it just blows up in the next frame is a huge jarring round crater. Like, there's no way that explosion made the crater. And then everyone's dead. It's just the guy that slept with her and their like bastard son. And then like the sun turns blood red, and it's like all the wheat blowing in red, and then it ends.
Oh yeah, man.
And like John was like, the ending's the best part. I was like, whoa, like what was that?
John was like, it was funny.
Yeah, you're like, I thought it was a happy ending. I was like, whoa, like it's like I thought it was fucking dark, like.
Oh my god.
Personally, I thought that was really like sad. Like
It is such a dark movie. It's like tonally the exact opposite.
of
And like
the good, the bad, and the weird.
like and like you couldn't have picked two different fucking movies, man. Like, and
I know, and you guys are talking about westerns, and I was like, I mean, I guess it was pretty dry there. Like, I was like, I don't think that was a western. Like,
They said it was based off the Clint Eastwood movie too.
yeah, you started talking about Clint. Oh, and that's why you were like talking about the actors. I was like, you know what? Like, and then you started saying like, who's your favorite character? And I was like, and you started talking about like, I like the guy with the hair. And everyone in this movie was the same tan bald person.
Yeah, John
Like, and they
saved
were
that
all
one.
wearing gowns. They're all dressed the same. No one had a name. And you're like, who's your favorite? Oh, I liked him. Maybe he was this actor. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck they want. I don't know a single character in this movie. And I just watched it. Like, it just ended. That part threw me too.
oh my god.
That's so good. That's
God,
so
man.
good. Oh, it was so weird. I was just the whole time imagining Jacob and Cooper already having watched this. I was like, damn, like this is it's like just got to really get through it. Like,
Yeah, we were like thinking, we're like, wait, how are we gonna get Dylan to actually finish this movie? Like he's gonna know something's up once he starts watching it, and he's like,
no,
what the
because I
fuck
was
is
just
this?
so rushed and so stoned that like I was just going with it. Like always, the entire time I was like, I'm at fault here. Like I have to hurry. Like,
Yeah.
literally, like I got it. I was like, okay, it's ready. Like get my food. Watch it. I'm like, Jesus, gotta rewind. Like, what did I just miss? Like,
It's such a crazy movie to follow. Like even like
oh,
it took us.
imagine
like,
watching it on ×3 speed.
I can't even, man. I can't. No wonder you're like partially agreeing with us.
Yeah,
because
I
you're
was like, I could believe that happened. Like,
It's like, yeah, because I know. I mean, because like you said, all those characters look identical. Like I cannot.
it was.
put into words.
That's when I was like, I have no idea. Like how I was so impressed that Jacob and Cooper were like, watched it and had like a favorite character out of those random NPCs that were the actors in the movie. Like they're like, oh, I was like, what? Damn, I feel bad. Like.
That's honestly.
great.
Exactly
I actually,
what we're going for.
if it
Yeah.
makes you guys feel even better, like I act like while you guys were talking, even like it was at that part where you're talking about your favorite guy with the hair. I like opened the movie and like started scanning through it, like who the fuck are they talking about? Like everyone looks the same, like, and I'm not trying to be racist. Like they were just all like monks, like. Like I was clicking through the movie at that moment, like. What? How? Like I was like, that guy kind of has a buzz, I guess. That's
Yeah.
who they're talking about. Like they liked him. Like what? Definitely doesn't seem like a bad boy. Like I don't know what you're talking about.
He really
None
left
of these
an
characters
impact
seem
on
like a
us.
bad boy. Like
Oh
you guys
my
gotta
God.
watch the movie.
Well, that's why, Dylan.
It's so funny.
That's
that
why
is
I
pretty-
asked you to sell it to someone who
Mhm.
hasn't watched it. And
I
you're
mean,
like,
it really just depends because it's like I'm not gonna tell like any old person, like, yeah, sit through this hour and a half, like
Watch this.
weird broadcasted Chinese theater, you know, like.
Yeah.
But I would definitely tell like some weird like guy I know to watch that shit. Like, oh, you might like this. Like,
Oh yeah. No, I mean it's one of the hardest movies I ever watched just to comprehend what's going on, and then to get like the symbolism, like you don't like
there
it,
was so much symbolism, and it was like
and it,
times 3 speed.
yeah, and like the whole thing with like the red sorghum and how it's like the land, it's what the kid was born on,
Yeah,
and it ends with like red China
dude,
and how
and
they
like so
love the
many people fell in the
communists.
jugs at various points in the film. And like, I'm
Yup.
sure there's a lot of analysis you could do on it.
No, yeah, but I mean, gosh darn, that's the hardest I've laughed all year, I think.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
I didn't suspect you guys for a second.
Oh my goodness. And we really wanted to pick something that would like roughly fit.
Yeah, roughly 50
It
good.
did. That's the weird thing. Like, it fit just enough.
Just enough where you'd be like, what are they talking about?
Right, because
I'm
there actually
surprised.
there was an explosion at the end of The Good, the Bad, and the Weird too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean
Oh my god. Like.
That's good.
It was all. Oh, that's so funny. I've just been rushing so hard today. Like, I worked straight up like right until 7, then had to like figure out dinner, like walk the dog and whatnot.
dude, and when you said you
Then
didn't
I
have your
didn't question
phone,
the thing until you revealed it. I was just been like straight up, like head down, going like. That's so funny.
goddamn. Oh man. But yeah, I think they should watch Red Sorghum, Dylan. I agree. I would love to hear what you thought.
Yeah, not
I
gonna
would love-
happen.
Yeah,
To be honest
probably
with
not. Yeah, no.
Oh,
You guys sure? Like, the end is really fucking good.
Sounds like a happy movie.
Yeah, definitely will brighter day. I would say it was probably as dark as Joker, but like in a completely unrelatable way.
I mean, guys, I literally can't like put into words how unrelatable this movie is to Western audiences. Like,
It all takes place in a tiny little like agricultural town in rural China. Like, it is just like dirt roads and like half-built walls are the backdrop to anything. Like, like it's so.
and like the drink that they're making isn't even anything you've ever heard of ever before. Like, you don't know
Yeah.
what the plant is, and they keep on bringing it up, and they're like, "Oh, we gotta make the pride of our wine," and like the kid
September the 9th, we make the best wine. They sang that like it was so fucked. There were so many weird musical numbers now that I think about it.
There are. There's like the full opening scene is like a uninterrupted,
Oh.
like a 5 or no, like a 10-minute thing.
It's so weird. The opening had me like they were just basically carrying this lady on a like fancy throne thing that you carry over your shoulder, just singing like trashing her, making her feel like absolute garbage. like trying to make her sick and nauseous by rocking her while just insulting the ever living shit out of her.
Yeah, like calling her fat and shit like that, and, like
Ugly as
stupid.
hell.
It's
Like I'd rather sleep in the doghouse than with her. Like
oh my god,
That was so good.
I'll tell you what, that was not meant to be seen by me, like on my laptop in my room alone here for no reason. Like that was never created for that purpose.
oh my god, oh fuck. Good god.
How'd you hear of that movie? Like
I watched it in Chinese film class.
Oh,
That's
what the
where you hear
fuck?
about it.
That's how you heard about it?
That's
Yeah.
the only place you're gonna hear about that kind of
That's
thing.
deep.
I know.
That's a deep cut.
No, yeah, and so my teacher like sat down and like explained it to us, and I can walk you through it pretty
I'm-
well. But it's, I mean, because like I can handle like an Asian cinema movie and like generally get everything and like understand themes and stuff like that. But watching this, I was like, oh my god, I don't even know who the main character is. Like, for the longest time, I thought the bandit was the main character. And
Dude, and like how so much of it is told like just with voices,
Yep.
but it's like you don't know what who. I can't tell anyone's voice apart.
Yep.
Sadly, like
I
people off screen yelling and stuff.
mean, yep. I mean, she had to come down and sit, and she was like, this is that movie. Like, I gotta explain this to you guys. Like, walk us through it and all of this stuff. And I was just like, this is the perfect movie to make Dylan watch. And I didn't think, if you weren't rushing, I think you would have caught
I
on.
think I must. If I weren't rushing and wasn't so naive,
No, I don't. I think when you at a certain point, you would have either come into this going, "There's no way Jacob watched this."
yeah. I mean, I already kind of was thinking that, but I was like, I guess he already said he did. Like, it's the only reason I bought it. And then I was also, but at the time, I for sure thought Cooper hadn't watched it at the beginning of the podcast. I for sure thought, because like the way like John asked us something, the way he answered, I was like, that sounds like nothing to do. And I was like, oh, Cooper totally didn't watch this. Like, but then at the end, I thought everyone did.
Yeah, man.
But I was right, you didn't watch it.
No.
Yeah, you were right.
You were right. Yeah.
We actually knew that was gonna, but luckily you were rushing. But we knew that was gonna like you were gonna have questions about that. So we were
Yeah.
like, we have to send texts like, oh, this movie sucks, but you have to stick it out till the end.
Yeah. Just wait till the end.
Did anyone say that? Yeah, no, you said like it started slow.
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess you were actually kind of right. Like,
No, he's not wrong.
definitely has the fucking nonstop barrage on the back half, I'd say, in a weird way.
Yeah, man. I mean, I just.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, I can't think of any time I mean, woof, that was funny. And
That was so good.
Yeah, well done. I think I felt like you got me better when John randomly walked into the condo in Vermont.
Oh yeah.
That blew my mind definitely harder.
That was so fun.
That hit me so hard. I was like, what? Like it just completely tilted me because I was like,
Totally forgot.
Yeah,
the
that was
reason
so
it tilted
funny.
me so hard was because of how hard it was to get there.
Yeah.
And we just finally get there. Me and Cooper were like so tired. Like we've been driving all day. Like you guys came from Boston. Like we were just like, oh, like finally sit. And I was like kind of sick, like not really even. And then like you guys show up and it's like, wow, like we finally all made it. I was like, someone else opens the door. I'm like, what? The landlady?
Yeah.
John had journeyed the entire same journey alone for some reason, and like I couldn't even process it. I was like, "What? Like, why did he drive alone? Like,
I
what
was
the
terrified. It was
That
so
was
dark
so
on those
dude, I was
roads.
thinking about
It
that
was kind of a
recently.
sketchy
It's
drive.
so sick.
It's so sketchy, and it was snowing, and I was
Dude,
like, oh my
Cooper, do you
God.
remember when we went up and over that like crystalline mountain at the very end?
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
we went
yeah.
up the super steep hill and it just turned to like this crazy winter wonderland, and then we descended like.
Yeah. That was cool.
That
Hey,
was
speaking
fucking
of which,
far out.
you guys don't want to go skiing this year, do you?
Well, I was thinking about that, dude. Are any places even open? Like, is that even an
Yeah,
option?
there's
a good
bunch
question.
Of places open, and they're all
There's-
discounted,
Well-
I believe, because no one
Well,
wants to go.
that and like, is there snow right now?
Oh, I mean, we definitely got to wait.
It would be waiting, but I mean, I would be down if things were, you know.
Oh,
open
dude,
and
the
stuff.
resorts are definitely open. Like, it would probably be near where we went last time again. though.
And like
we could go,
for
we could
real,
go to
like
New Hampshire.
everyone you're kind of wearing a mask when you ski,
No,
right?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
so
I don't know. I mean, me and Jock are definitely gonna go. So up to like might not go to the same spot we went last time, but kind of in that area, maybe a little closer in New Hampshire. But
yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That's very. I mean, maybe if I can work out like some sort of quarantine thing, but it's probably gonna be a no for me.
yeah, I see it being tough for you, John. I see it being tough for you guys too. It's a long
Yeah,
drive, obviously.
you are kind of basically 2 hours away, right?
It's still gonna take us like 4 hours to get there. But
Oh, really?
I don't remember how long. I don't remember how long it took us to get to the last place, but it wasn't super close, even for us.
Maybe New England isn't as small as I thought. Have you guys seen those pictures of fucking Virginia, in like the 1600s, like what they claimed of America?
Yeah, I did see that. They claim like the whole fucking thing.
Yeah. It's
what
one
is
of my
it?
favorite things. Hold on one sec. I'll post it. It's fucking hilarious. It's just because like there were no rules back then, so you could just claim everything. Top this week. Here we go. Copy. Pasted. Just see how hardcore we fucked. 1609 claims literally all of the United States.
Yeah.
That's Virginia.
Wait, where's the chat? How do I see that?
If you go, are you on your phone?
No.
You gotta click on the text channels, the thing that says #general.
Ah.
Yeah, 1609. I like that.
1609.
Very optimistic.
Yeah.
That's what we said Virginia was.
Yeah.
Virginia.
They
All the way
like,
up to Alaska.
they survived 2 years at Jamestown, and they're like, "Fuck it, we own this."
Yeah. There's definitely nobody else over there.
Yeah, no one's gonna.
That's
have a problem with
hilarious.
that at
I mean,
all.
did they even have this map at that point in time?
No.
Yeah, probably not. This is definitely bullshit.
Well, no, I mean,
Did some guy stand at the top right corner and just point
Yeah, just like
that way?
yeah,
Right.
all the way to
right.
the next ocean.
Yeah.
From here there.
It's a straight line too.
Yeah.
well, do you see that the line that they're cutting is the British Canada? So Saskatoon is like right along that line because that's where they drew the boundary. So they had some idea what was left of America, but they had no idea really what it looked like. They just carpet claimed legitimately everything in the entire nation, except for the Spanish half, which you guys can see as well. But then and this is what I stand by. Let's just absorb all of like Michigan and Ohio. Like I didn't know all of that used to be Virginia.
Of course, dude. Virginia's baller, dude.
Yeah, man.
Virginia's sweet. Virginia is sweet.
The only thing that'd
Honestly.
make it sweeter is if we could grow some authentic red sorghum.
Yeah. Yeah, soon we'll be able to grow some weed.
No, yeah, that's for true. I think
Dude, it was sick. It's sick that it's decriminalized here. I went to
Yeah.
a dispensary for the first time in DC. Just like drove, parked in their parking lot, and bought a fuck ton of weed. And
Oh,
left.
they have them in DC?
Yeah, it was chill. Like it was no line. I parked. The Capitol was in view, and it was cool. Like they had a parking lot. It was in the city. It wasn't even like dealing with street parking.
What name was that? You should
The Garden, dude. Go.
word.
The
No,
Garden. It was. It couldn't have been easier. It was legit. Just like
no,
just
yeah.
ID'd me.
It's tight, 100%. Do we want to pick a movie for next week, fellas, or next time?
Yeah, sure.
Or I mean, honestly, I guess the real thing, the polite thing to do here would probably be let Dylan pick, right?
Okay, well, I did want to watch Red Sorghum again.
Cocksucker.
All right, I'm down. I'll watch it again.
No.
No, we talked about Red Sorghum.
We're just not gonna watch it.
Yeah, Vancouver just won't watch it.
Like fuck that, dude.
I don't know, dude. I wanted to watch Inception.
I'd do Inception.
Yeah, actually, I would watch it. I've only seen it once.
I just watched all 3 Nolan Batmans, and I was like, I want to see Inception now.
I'm not gonna lie, I've seen Inception recently.
Oh
I
yeah.
prefer not to, but I mean, I could talk about it still.
You know what? I'm not saying I can. I'm not saying I can't, but I might be able to get my hands on Tenet.
What's that?
The new Christopher Nolan movie
Okay.
with it's like all about like time travel and like guns that shoot backwards and shit like that.
Okay, sure, go for it.
I mean, it's up to Dylan though.
What about Interstellar?
Is it scary?
I mean, it's a lot like Tenet. It's or a lot like Inception. It's an action thriller. Features.
Is it lewd?
I wouldn't describe it as lewd. No. It features Denzel Washington's son, Robert
Skeptical.
Pattinson, Michael Caine, Kenneth Branagh.
Yeah, no, I'm down with that. Sounds like a good movie.
All right, let me see if I can find
If
it.
you
But
can
if
get
not,
it,
we'll piss.
I think
yeah.
it's new. I've just seen it like as an ad only.
Well, I
right
know
now,
it's
so.
I know it's released typically on you can watch it on your mobile devices, and typically at that point when you're able to like download it for video on demand and shit like that, typically, and I'm not saying this from personal experience, but from shit I've heard, that it's very easy to find that movie on the internet
Oh, okay.
because of the ability to just rip the file. But if not, I will let you guys know. I can't look at it right now because. Or I wouldn't ever look at those things, I guess, to say. But, yeah. Someone might later on using a VPN.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, well,
Dope.
see, you can get that. That movie sounds pretty good.
All right.
I have no idea what it's about or anything, but okay.
All right, cool.
I'm down.
Cool. I'll play the outro. What a time. What a fucking time, man.
Elijah Hood here for the XFL Wildcats, and I'm a big Fly You Fools podcast fan, so I know they was looking for Elijah Wood, but they found me. Keep searching for that one true ring and rock on.
Oh, yeah.
Word.
All right.
Yeah.
Makes it all worthwhile.
Yeah. I'll be